This is a review for the game Pretty Princess Party, and before we go anywhere, I am not even remotely close to the target audience in case you haven't guessed. Yet still I played this anyway. It mostly came down to a colleague saying it was a noisy pixel thing to do, and I'm going to blame Ben, even though I was the one who decided to review it. Developed by Nippon Columbia and brought to the West by Axis Games, Pretty Princess Party is a simulation game with the extra frills of princess dresses. It's an interior designer game. You take the role of a customizable avatar who has become lost in another world after chasing a rabbit through a doorway, and they find themselves the bearer of a mysterious amulet that designates them as the next princess of Lupin Castle. With the rabbit Asbel at their side, the role is to use the princess design magic to restore the castle to its former glory. This requires you to clear out thorny stems of malice by designing and filling up various rooms in the castle with furnishings. Each room has a collection of requirements, 5 items that need to be placed within to clear it to get the room's jewel stone, which will help return the magic. And then you get to take a photograph to immortalize your marvelous room. However, sometimes the guidelines won't tell you what you need to place within the room. You can either trial and error your way to victory here, or use the archaeology rabbit to decipher these guidelines. This costs a limited amount of in-game resources called Lumina. These Lumina can be spent at the Knowledge Fountain on design magic recipes as well, which is simply more objects you can place within your room. The objects you can decorate the rooms with are broken up into a series of categories: large items, small items, wall decor, ceiling fixtures, and flooring plus wall alterations. Items are placed in the room via a grid and can be rotated around across the X-axis. You can also search for things, but you can't search by item type, only color. This might make it tricky for a kid looking for a certain object within the menus. However, ultimately the clear conditions only require you to place 5 objects within the rooms, so they can be worked out by brute force if they don't know that the French word for wardrobe is armoire. Hope I said that right. And they don't need to actually spend the time carefully crafting each room. There is a cap on how much Lumina they can get in one day, as you can only obtain it by greeting residents once per day. As you progress, items need more Lumina to obtain, but you also meet new rabbits to greet, so it essentially acts as a prevention mechanic. You'd be getting this game for a kid, and this would keep them from sinking too much time into the game at once. As you progress through the restoration project, the rooms will require more specific items to be placed, and your current taste level won't be enough to produce the items needed. You can increase 3 stats that will give you access to different kinds of furniture: cute, elegant, and cool. These stats can be increased by a collection of minigames, which include things like archery and quizzes that are very simple but hilariously difficult at points. The quizzes are notable for being simple yes or no questions, but with a little twist. During the latter half of them, you'll need to answer first and correctly if you want any points. And some of these other former princess contestants are really quick on the trigger, but the game is very kid-friendly, as it's impossible to get a score lower than good, which still grants a decent amount of experience. Pretty Princess Party is, at its core, an incredibly casual game. It's a low-stakes, low-effort title that lets the player use their creative potential should they decide to get involved. If you're a parent looking for a safe title for kids to play to explore their skills and reaction times, this is a solid pick. Otherwise, I don't really know who's going to play this game. On a positive note, it's got fewer bugs than Cyberpunk 2077. Noisy Pixels giving Pretty Princess Party a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixels, a group dedicated to bringing you guys the best news reviews and more. Please stick around and make sure to ring the little bell to stay up to date with all of our future content. That's a weird one on this video.